Greetings and welcome once again to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. This is the second in my hopefully ongoing junkyard finding my junkyard picking series, in which I go to the junkyard, buy a car, bring it back here, repair it, and sell it. The intention is to purchase whatever car is in the first junkyard I go to. Hopefully there will be something interesting. Hopefully there will be something that is worth looking at. Last time, the first episode I did on this, the first two cars that were in there were cars I didn't really want to do, so I had to do a second one. Unfortunately then I was able to find a car that was worth doing. But we'll cross our fingers and hope that we find something cool this time. So off we go. Okay, here we are, and already there's some cars there. That looks like a Porsche Carrera GT. Oh yes, that there will be the early front runner. The Salem Flammo I've done, and in fact I wouldn't mind doing another one. It's got the straight 6 in it. Let's see if there's anything else here. Let's see, this is Toyota Celica. MCM edition, what does it have in it? Oh, it's right there in front of me, i6. I think I've done, this is a mod, it's not a bad mod, but I'd rather do the Porsche. That's an RX-7. Or no, it's not. I lied. Mazda Miata. This is the V8 Miata. Boy, the engine is trash. It's just a block there. I've done the Miata mod before. What is this? This is a Bentley. This is a Bentley. Bentley Continental GT. I'm still leaning toward the Porsche. What do we got over here? Is this? Oh, this is a Focus RS, and this is a Jaguar E-Type. Jaguar E-Type Race. Yeah, Ford Focus RS. These are both mods. I've actually done both of these. The Ford Focus is not a bad little. It comes together nicely. The Jaguar I didn't care for as much, and I don't like doing the race cars anyway. What's this over here? It looks like another Celica. Yeah, Toyota Celica Speed Hunter. It's got the V6 in it. That engine is trash too. Don't want to do it anyway. The race car mods don't really work for me. I kind of want to buy both the both the Carrera and the Bentley. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy the Carrera. This car is $53,000. It'll sell for probably $400,000, $500,000 easy. I think I will go ahead and buy the Bentley too. Maybe I'll finish this one up on a different video. And this one is almost 50 grand. I'm pretty sure I did one of these once before. I'm pretty sure they don't sell for as much, but it's still worth doing. Okay, back to the garage we go. And we're back. Looks like the factory color on this thing is kind of a yellow. And I think this one is black. Alright, the first thing I like to do when I work on a car is to take all the body parts off, so we'll get on that. I know that there's a little window tucked in there. It doesn't seem to be in this car though. No seats, steering wheel. I also want to get in and pull out everything that's attached to the body. Okay, the car has 3 radiators, and I remember that only two of them have the radiator fan. Let's start getting our body parts together while I'll resort this so that I can see what I got. There was one plate on the back. I don't think this car has a front plate. All we got was the bumper, the fender, and the headlights, and the rear bumper. I probably could repair those, but I'm not going to. I'll just buy all new body parts and a plate. I like to do Washington plates because I'm from Washington. I remember that 2 of the radiators have fan housings on it. I don't remember which ones. I think it's probably B, but I don't want to buy them by accident. So we have 2 of these seats and the steering wheel. Okay. These parts are, let's see, 1500 for this car part. I have all the skill points, so I get the discount on buying parts. Like the bumpers on this thing are over $1,000 each. It's not as bad as some of the other ones, like the Zonda parts. Some of the Zonda parts are crazy expensive. Okay, let's leave it there. Let's slap this stuff in. I see I didn't take out that steering wheel. Alright, now let's start putting body parts back on it. Let's go back to normal mode and get in here and do the engine parts before I put the hood back on it. Yeah, see, it is radiator fan housing B, so I need to buy those. Battery, brake servo, ABS modules here somewhere. Look what a mess this engine is. It's got no heads, no alternator, no water pump, no fuel pump, no oil filter, no starter. Wait, there may be an oil filter. Nope, there isn't. Tranny is on it. I bet there's no crankshaft caps or rod caps in it either. So this will be like building the engine from scratch. Okay, that should 100% the body. Now we will put it on the lift and fix up the body, the frame, and the interior. Yeah, it's kind of a mustardy color, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to swap out the fuel tank. Which is in the front, I think. Yep. I didn't buy one. I thought for sure I bought one. I am going to use performance parts on it wherever possible. Okay, and usually I put the exhaust pieces on too at this point, but the exhaust pieces on this car are back here behind the engine. I'm not sure. Middle exhaust section, Carrera GT. I'm not sure I can put them on before the engine goes in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't. And I have a couple of GT parts here. I'm going to need 2 of those and 1 of these. Well, really only 1 of these. I have these in my inventory because I bought extra ones by mistake the last time I worked on one of these cars, and I didn't want to get rid of them. There's 2 of these that I need because I don't have any of them. 2 of them, and 1 of these. So I should be all set now for GT exhaust parts. And this is another extra that I bought when I was working on a GT40, and I'm hanging on to it because I expect to find another GT40 eventually. That should be all of the exhaust pieces. Let's go ahead and paint this thing now. Yeah, that factory color's not bad. It's kind of a goldenrod, sunbeam, I don't know. I mean, I have one of these that I have one of these in my personal collection anyway, so I don't need to keep this one. So I'll just go with the factory color, that's fine. And I didn't paint it. Ah. There we go. I should have made a note of how much I paid for this car. I want to say it was like $38,000. Let's see where we are now. So we're at 100% on the body, the frame, and the interior. And now we got to rebuild the rest of it. But the value is already $139,000. That's not too shabby. And okay, let's go ahead and begin by taking the front end apart. I think that steering rack is clipped through the fuel tank. I didn't look at it closely enough. Some of the modded cars I've worked on, I think like the modded Porsche 959, the steering rack and the sway bar clip through the fuel tank, which is a little bit weird, but who cares? The car looks good when it's done. I hope to find one of those in the junkyard for one of these episodes at some point. I really enjoy working on them, and they sell for like $2 million when they're done. Okay, the front end is all taken apart. I want to dismount the wheels and see if the tires or if the rims are repairable. Okay, there are things that are not repairable from the get-go that we already know. So I'm going to buy, like, the double wishbone suspension pieces are not repairable. So I'll just buy all of those and assemble 2 new ones. The bushings, of course, are not repairable. I should flush the ones that are in my inventory first. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of these things for this particular kind of front end. The tie rods are not repairable. The sway bars are not repairable either, but I didn't pay attention when I took them off, so I'm not sure which ones they are. I want to make sure first before I spend money on them. Okay, so the front sway bar and the sway bar B. So it's just the generic front sway bar. Alright, where am I at? I'm going to need the hub bearings, the hub caps. I'll just buy the front wheel hubs. These are both red, so they might not repair. And the hub bearings never repair. Okay, where are we at? Tires. I'll try to repair the rest of this stuff. The tires are 265, 35, 19. Yep, bought the correct size. Good. Okay, let's see what we can save here. I think I lost that cross member. And got that tire, got that rim. Lost something. Repaired both of the rims. So, the rack. Oh, I thought I didn't get that one. Front knuckle beast, bottom suspension arm, both knuckles. else was there? Bottom suspension arm. Okay, we have all the bits we need to reassemble the front. Slam all that stuff in there. I like to try to put everything in that I can without having to move the camera. And once I have to start moving the camera around, things get kind of herky-jerky. I think I put the other tie rod on. Yeah, I did. It's important to remember to put the bushings in on the cross member right away, because if you forget, it becomes a pain in the butt to find it again. Okay, that side is done. I like to get both sides done before I start to put in the wheels, just because it satisfies my need for things to be balanced. Actually, I'm not sure if I put the tie rod in on the other side. I wonder if I did. Nope, I didn't. I can see it. Occasionally, I have forgotten to put that in, and it becomes a thing, because you get the whole thing assembled, and then you can't put the wheel on. It won't go on if the tie rod isn't on, and you're like, what the hell, why is this not going on? But there. Okay, so this should almost be done. Okay, that should be that whole front end should be done, and there's no loose suspension parts hanging around. So that's finished. Let's see where we are now. Jumped up 20 grand on that. Don't even have to Don't even have to repair the engine or the back end at this point. We could make $130,000 on this car. Actually, minus whatever I spent. I should have really kept track of what I spent on stuff. But I didn't, so whatever. Now we get to work on the back end. And this will be less complex because the engine and transmission are back here. It's just going to be the double wishbone rear end. I will try dismounting these wheels too, but I'll bet you at least one of those rims will not be repairable. It always seems like whenever I dismount all the rims, I end up with one that's not repairable. I end up with 3 good ones. It always seems like it does that. At least this kind of rear end I know I only need 8 bushings for, because there's no cross member. Are there even any pistons in this thing? There must be. The oil pan is on it. Most of the time when I buy cars from the junkyard, they don't even have an oil pan. That means the crankshaft caps and rod caps are all here. The pistons are not going to be repairable though. I'll probably manage to save some of the caps at least. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get the back end well, I'm not going to be able to get the back end fully reassembled either, because the transmission won't be on it, but that's okay. So let's buy the rear double wishbone shock absorber. I'll go ahead and replace the brake parts. Get that out of the way. Discs and pads are never repairable anyway. Sometimes you can repair a caliper or two and a bushing, not a bushing, a caliper or a cylinder. Sometimes it's just not worth the effort. The hubs, rear wheel hub B. tires are those? 335, 30, 20. $335, 30, 20. Okay, good. Almost $2,200. I got no discount on those. Let's flush the clutch pieces too, because I'm going to put the performance clutch in it. And I need the V10 transmission. I'm actually not sure if the clutch cover is repairable or not, but whatever. And okay, so alright, let's see what we can repair of this stuff. Looks like we saved both of the rims. Boy, I didn't save any of this. Couldn't even try. One rear axle knuckle cover and all the suspension arms. Bottom B and upper. So 2 bottom Bs and 2 uppers. What was the other thing? I knew I should have paid attention. Rear axle knuckle cover. Okay, let's go ahead and get the wheels mounted and balanced. That's a big tire. The size of that thing. Okay, so we can get most of the rear suspension in, but until the engine is completely rebuilt, I'm not going to be able to put in the other stuff. But at least I'll get this much done. So that's as far as we can go on each side until the transmission is back in, because the rear drive axles go to the transmission. And of course I won't put that in until there's a nice, fresh and shiny new engine in there. Okay, let's drop this thing down and get the engine puller. see where we are value-wise. 165,000. Getting better every time we take out some broken piece of junk and put in a nice shiny new one. The only reason I'm going to do this, I mean, there's nothing here. The only thing I'm really doing this for is if I can recover any of the crankshaft caps or the rod caps, it'll save us a little bit. It's not a lot. I mean, not really. It's almost not really enough to worry about, since all of the pistons and piston rings are going to have to be replaced. Whew, okay. 10 pistons is a lot of work. It's like the V12 and the V12s, man. So we'll dump all this stuff and buy new ones. If we get lucky, we'll repair the block and the crankshaft, which will be nice, because the block is like $1,000 by itself. Which heads does it need? I think the V10B is for the Viper. I think the V10A and the V10B are for the Dodges. Engine head A, V10. Engine head B. These are the ones for the Porsche. I know I'm going to need 10 spark plugs. And God knows what else. I don't remember if this is a DOHC engine or not. I think it is, which means I need 4 of those. I know I'm going to need the fuel rails and the exhaust manifolds. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. Okay, let's see what we can repair here. Oh, good, we got the crankshaft. And we got the block. So how am I doing on caps? 1, 2, 3, 4 rod caps, and 1 crankshaft cap. Okay, let's see about assembling this bad boy now. Sometimes the camera just gets snapped in really close. It's very weird. let's put in the caps. Let's see, I need the air filter base, alternator, water pump, power steering pump, I4. I think I'm forgetting something. Well, we'll be back and forth in here a bunch. Oh, the air filter bases. I know it's going to need 2 of these. Two of those and 2 of those. It's so weird that you can do this with these things. Of course, the camera is all screwed up now. Okay, slam in the pistons. This always happens when I work on one of the V10s or the V12s. The camera gets jerked in really close like this, and it's really hard. That bolt went in cockeyed. That was weird. Oh, I was thinking, man, I have more rod caps than I need. I didn't delete the junk ones. Yeah, I thought I could put the clutch on back here now. And I did buy the right heads. That was kind of a gamble. That was kind of a gamble, but not really. Sort of an educated guess. That's really in the way. And I got the correct number of camshafts too. Oh, there's going to be a buttload of camshaft caps. I see that now. many of these stupid things do I need? 2, 4, 6, 8. Is there another pair on that end? Flip this thing over so we can see better. Okay, this is where I'm probably going to have to start using the part thing. Well, exhaust manifold V10, intake manifold V10, it's going to be fuel rails too. 2, 4, 6, 8 camshaft caps, V12, V20. So there were 8, that means I need 16 of these. Where's the engine head cover for the V10? Porsche, 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 there's one. So the manifolds for the V10, I need 2 of these. And 1 of these. And I'm going to need cam gears. Going to need 2 of those and 2 of those. What do we have for timing? Timing chain. Pretty sure I'm going to need like 2 of these and I think 4 of these. And I'll need that. I have the feeling... Why do I have the feeling that there's more timing cover stuff for this? And I'll go ahead and buy the Porsche V10 serpentine belts because I'm sure I'm going to need them. And I think there's an ignition coil for this. No, let's go get the fuel rails too. Fuel rail V10, there we go. I think this thing just takes regular coils. Oh, there's a throttle up there, so I need 2 of those throttles. I hate it when it sucks me in so close I can't see all the bolts. Is this one that has something at the back? I can't remember. One of the i4 engines, I think, has gearing at the back of the engine. I knew I was going to need 4 of these shoes. That's really getting frustrating. Yep, coils. Need coils. So I need to buy 10 coils. God, can I get to the front of the engine? Please? No? Almost there. I want to see what I need there. Crank, pulley V8, roller B. Probably end up needing a belt tensioner too. Oh look, I can put the air filters in that I bought. There's going to be another roller there. There's going to be another roller there, and I bet there's a belt tensioner too. Oh good, just 2, let's see, yep, 2 roller A's. I think that's it. Once these are on, alright, so that mighty Porsche V10 is completely done. Ready to go into the car. It's my favorite part. I can just pick it up and put it in my pocket. Let's get rid of these junked pieces. Alright, put it back in the car. Now, ordinarily, I would put oil into the engine right now, but the oil fill cap for this car is actually on the transmission, so I have to get that in first. I don't think I bought a starter. That's going to bite me in the butt. Yep, didn't buy a starter. Bought all the other stuff. Get the nice exhaust on it. Whoops. Got the rear piece on before I got the middle piece on. That's good. Okay, so the exhaust is entirely in. Let's go ahead and buy a starter now while I'm thinking about it. And now we can finish assembling the rear. All that needs to happen now is the drive axles and the wheels go back on. That car should now be 100%. Let's bring it down and put oil in it and then send it to the dyno and see what we got. So factory engine power is 612 horsepower. If I don't get 1,000, I'll be shocked. Let's see what happens. I haven't looked at the car status sheet yet. Let's see how much money it's worth now. I think it was about 35 grand that we paid for it. 35, 38, something like that. So let's see what it is at 100%. $302,000, $60,000 resto bonus, so 360 grand. I wonder if the restoration, I need to check and see because I don't know. But I wonder if the restoration bonus like specifically offsets the money you spent buying parts for the car. I don't know. I'll have to, one of these days I'll have to do a car and keep track of all the expenses going into it and see where I end up on the outside end. Either way, I'm happy with having spent 35 grand to buy the car and get back 360 grand on it. Alright, let's take it to the speed track real quick and see what happens. I put race car tires on this one. The last car I took to the speed track didn't have race tires and it was all over the place. It was like trying to push a greased ball bearing across a sheet of ice. This one with race car tires should do better, I hope. Looks really good. The metallic looks nice. I should try one of these in pearl one day and see what it looks like. Pretty much every car I've ever done has been metallic. Alright, let's go. Oh, that's not exactly what I wanted to happen. you still going forward when you're not? I don't have a steering wheel, which you may or may not be able to tell at this point. I don't really understand why these cars go skittering around like this. Still getting up over 200 miles an hour though. 209. Yeah, I can live with that. Okay, car's done, tested, time to get rid of it. So, bought this car for 35 grand, sold it for 363 grand. I call that a pretty nice day's work. That's how I made all my money, man, really. Buying cars and flipping them. So I may or may not do a whole episode on rebuilding this Bentley. I may just do it on the side, get it out of here. I just didn't want to leave it. I didn't want to leave it behind. But I don't want to do 2 cars in one episode because it will make the video like 2 hours long. And I'm going to try to keep them about an hour. So, done with the Porsche. Got us up at least 300 grand on that deal, so I consider that a win-win. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you again soon. Thanks a lot, and have a good evening.